Welcome to the For Your Thoughts podcast, where psychology, pop culture, and self meet. You are here with your host, Penny Anasi, and I'm so excited that you guys have tapped in to this podcast. We're all about mental health, healing, pop culture, and just all the things that make us human, honestly. So, thank you guys for tapping in. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I'm feeling right now. And if you have been watching, you know, you're like, where is she at? This is not her normal scene. I'm in my apartment right now because seasonal depression is kicking my ass. It's literally kicking my ass. And I never wanted to like call it seasonal depression. I'm like, oh, you kind of feel a little low during the holidays. But the older that I've gotten, the more that I've felt that way around the holidays. And I'm like, I cannot be the only one. And we need to fight back. I need to fight back. I don't deserve to feel this way during the most joyous time of the year. Like, what? Let's make it make sense. So, today I really want to get into how we are going to get ahead of seasonal depression this year. And I'm not going to give you all of the cliche ways to do so. I'm going to give you my real deal ways and what I'm currently doing right now to feel better and what has been working for me. You notice that the days are getting shorter, it's getting darker quicker. The brain's feeling a little foggy, it's a little off. You're like, why did I forget to do that? Oh, I had to do that. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I don't feel like doing that. You are sleeping in a lot more. You just feel a bit more overwhelmed and tired and just lackluster in a sense. And you're just like, why do I feel so off? Like, what's actually wrong with me? And guys, it's called seasonal depression, aka the SADs. I like to call it the SADs because it makes it a bit more lighthearted because like the Grinch had seasonal depression. That's what the Grinch had. You know what I'm saying? He was like that year round, but he just was like a curmudgeon and mad at the world during the most joyous time of the year because there is so much for you to reflect and think about when it comes to your life. And like Solange said, there's so much to be mad about. We have the SNAP benefits being cut off. We have people in Sudan getting literally murdered, mass murdered. We have an election coming up and just craziness happening left, right, up, down, side to side. We have billionaires who are billionaires. Stop. We have a enormous amount of Black women who are unemployed, and we have no idea what that's going to look like for our future. They told us to go to college. We went to college. They told us to do this. We did everything, and yet people are still broke. The wage gap between poverty and middle class and upper class, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now you're like, oh, I have to make over 150 to be like middle class or to feel low key comfortable. You know how insane that is? I remember when I was growing up and I saw like a role for like 90K and I was just like, rich, period. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that role and I'm gonna be so rich. Like you hoes could never like step to me once I get that 90K. And imagine, like, who would have thought that this would have been the world that we are living in today? But here's the thing, I'm not in the world or the style of woe is me, like, like Eeyore and the Grinch and all the other sad Disney Channel and fictional characters. I'm not in that bag because I like to be happy. My normal disposition and my normal way of being is very much so happy and optimistic, and I like to stay that way. So what I'm in the playground of is fighting back. I'm fighting back. I'm fighting for my joy. I'm fighting for my happiness. I'm fighting for my love. I'm fighting for my care. I'm fighting for my community. And that's what I really want to get into when it comes to this episode is like, how are we fighting back seasonal depression? So I'm just going to take it back to my past couple of 2 weeks. I have been feeling a lack of community when it comes to my community in New York City. Thank the Lord in the heavens, one of my best friends moved out here, and I have so many friends and so many people out here, but that's what depression does to you. It makes you think that you have no one, or that no one is thinking about you, or that no one cares about you, because I know that a lot of people are thinking about me. They care about me. I know this to be true. I know this to be true. But on some days when it's hidden, you literally just think that you are kind of alone, and that what you're experiencing is just something that is so of your own that no one will understand or no one will get it, and that everyone else is so happy and you're the only one out here feeling this way. And that is a lie. That is a lie. That is a scheme that Todd himself set up that we will not be falling for. So if you're here right now, you're in the right place, because we are about to fight back when it comes to seasonal depression. And I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm looking like Jackie Hill Perry today, like with my fit and my look, but seasonal depression almost had me not finishing this episode because I have so much on my plate. But discipline and consistency is key, and it is one thing that I can control in my life, and that's what I'm doing. So that point brings me to my first way that I'm kicking the SAD's ass. So, what I like to do is be sure to control what I can control. And this starts with your home. So if you ever been on TikTok and you Googled or like search a depression room and what that looks like, you know exactly what I mean. And if you've ever actually lived it, you know exactly what I mean. And even if it's not a crazy depression room that looks like a room from Hoarders, even if it's not that, it could just be you can notice and tell when you're not keeping up with your home and keeping up with yourself. Your external space reflects your internal space, and I really do believe that. So if you feel like you can't control your internal space, clock that external space. Maintaining your home is such a spiritual thing. And as you know, that's because like your home is your center. It is your grounding space. It is your space to be rejuvenated, your space to be inspired, your space to rest, your space to grieve. And if that space isn't being handled with care, you are basically not handling yourself with care. And how can you expect the world or anyone else to handle you with care if you're not handling your space and yourself with care? So, and I know the first thing that comes to my mind when someone tells me to clean is like sometimes you feel like you physically, mentally, literally cannot get up to clean when you are down in the dumps. And that's when you have to call on the Lord, call on your discipline, call on a friend. You can even call a friend to come and clean with you. Great bonding, great time. Shout out to the real ones who are down to do things like that. Like you can do that, and trust me, you will feel so much better afterwards. And once I do that, it's like my mind is clear. You turn that music on. I've been jamming the hell out of Monaleo's album, Bigger Than Big. That song is gospel. Turn on Bigger Than Big, shake that monkey, and praise the Lord while you clean up. And trust me, that might be the cure right there, honestly. Make sure your home is clean, and just make sure it reflects who you are and just makes you feel really good. And the next thing that we can control is door dashing. I don't know about y'all, but all door dashing does for me is make me feel broke and bloated because it takes all my money. The food is not that good. I could have cooked and should have cooked. It just makes me be like, damn, I love the convenience of it all, but this is too convenient. Like, when you cook, you get to use your hands, you get to use your creativity, you get to use your different parts of your brain that now we don't have to use. And you just feel better when you cook your own food, and especially when you cook nourishing foods. We don't need to be ordering Wingstop. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so good. Like, it's so good. Like, I would kill for a 6-piece lemon pepper boneless with ranch and the hot Cajun sauce like on the side. I would kill for that right now. But if I am going to complain about feeling shitty and then I'm going to go back door and eat shitty food, I don't think I have the right to complain. I don't think I have the right to complain. Reflecting on your goals. So this time of the year is beat yourself up time. Like, you are literally beating yourself up about what you didn't do, the money that you didn't save, the goals you didn't crush, the job you didn't get, and you're like, it's a whole new year and I'm still in this space, in this certain area of my life. That's one thing about the holidays that used to really mess with me, was like, oh, it's time for me to go back home to my family and I don't feel like I am where I'm supposed to be in life whatsoever. That would really mess with me. But the truth was, like, I was the only one judging me. Like, my internal self was the only person who had this vision of where she was supposed to be in that moment or in this year and did not succeed. Everyone else, super proud. And I have another journaling practice that I do for myself that I want to share. And I do this towards the end of the year and also during the mid year as well. But I write down my goals every year. Of course, my New Year's resolutions, I write those down. And towards the end of the year, it's so easy for us to be like, oh, I didn't do this. I wanted to save this much money. I wanted to buy a car. I wanted to buy a home. I was supposed to have a job in whatever field that you're working in. There's so many things that you set out for yourself and goals that you set out for yourself and you did not do it. And around this time of the year is like the perfect time to beat yourself up about it, because you're already sad because of depression and what's happening in the world and lack of vitamin D. And you already are comparing yourself to everyone on Instagram. The matching pajama couples are starting to pop up. The proposals have been running rampant all over your timeline. Someone just ran a freaking marathon across the whole New York City, and you're struggling to go across the street to your local gym, and you're just like, what is my life? You know? So, what I like to do is look at all of the goals that I set out for myself, big and small, and I checklist it and I cross off all the things that I 100% completed, the goals that I somewhat got to, but maybe I was inconsistent with or I fell off with. I try to really sit down and think about the moment that I fell off, why I fell off, what that looked like, what it felt like, and I put language to it so that I can recognize that next year when I'm falling off of a goal. And the things that I didn't do, I write down the significant reasons as to why those goals did not get crushed. Sometimes some of those goals just did not get crushed, and it's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just what was in the cards for you. So I write down, okay, I was supposed to get a new role this year, but the economy is so bad and I'm doing X, Y, and Z to get this role. Like make it all make sense. So you just don't have all these goals that you wish you would have attained and things that you wish you would have done, and you're all overwhelmed. Like put real logic and words to it and start to think about, okay, what will make me feel good when the clock strikes midnight? Like, what can I do right now to at least have that momentum and movement in whatever area that is, so I can at least feel like I tried? 2 months is a long time. 1 week is a long time to really put a dent into your goals. And honestly, it's just the act of doing so that's going to make you feel 10 times better, and knowing that you're capable of doing that. So, that's a journaling exercise I really want y'all to try and do, is just pull out your goals from last year and really get really granular and specific as to what happened, why did it not happen, what can I do right now, what can I do next year, what was out of my control, and just lay it all out, and you will literally see all the goals that you did crush, and you'll be so gracious and you'll be like, oh my God, thank you, Lord. Like, I was sitting here complaining when I'm sitting in the blessings that I asked for last year. I'm already trying to be on to the next when I'm not even enjoying what you have already blessed me with this year. Once you smash a goal and you just move on to the next and you forget about all of the pain, the tears, the grit, and everything that it took for you to get to that past goal, you just forget about it and you move on, and you put yourself back into that space of wanting and crawling when you can live in the blessings that God has given you. And I think that we are not living in our lives anymore. Like, we are living in other people's lives online who probably aren't even happy or where they want to be. We are living in who we want to be and just chasing for all of these things that's just like, yo, when are we gonna like have fun and enjoy it? Like, for real. Like, they say this all the time, but it's so for real. Like, I feel like before social media, when we didn't have access to looking at everyone else, like, we definitely were happier because before we were in this echo chamber of people that were very similar to us, people that lived similar lives as us, and we weren't able to see, like, oh, like, there's other ways of living that I might want or that I might think that I want. And yeah, I think that it's really messing with us a bit. So it's really good to just think about where you were, where, and just to really be where you are. Try your hardest to do so. I'm talking to myself for real because I never do that, and I need to. So give yourself some grace when it comes to that. And when it comes to giving yourself grace, there's a creator, her name is Kendra. I'm obsessed with her. She does a lot of cultural commentary, a lot of psychology and sociology commentary. She is extremely intelligent, and I just love the way that her mind thinks. There's no groupthink happening in that girl's mind, and I truly appreciate it. So Kendra basically said that being broke right now is not a personal feeling, it's a systemic one. And she then went on to say that now is not the time to isolate yourself or reduce your connection to your community because you feel like you cannot afford to hang out with your friends. And I thought that this was gold. It was genius. It was everything because I had about 2 years of unemployment, I want to say. We're going to talk about that on the next episode, actually. And during that time, when I was not good or when I was just down in the dumps with what am I doing with my life and my career? Like, what is actually happening? Like, I'm too smart for this. I'm too beautiful for this. What the fuck? When I was in that phase, I did not want to see anyone. Like, my friends really did not see me. And I definitely became more of a shell of myself and like isolated myself because I'm like, yo, I can't go on vacation. I can't just go dilly dally and have drinks throughout the city. Like, I can't even buy the cute clothes that I want to wear outside to be seen with my friends. Like, I literally just can't. And I'm like, the only thing I need, and my mind was kind of like, you need to stay in the house. You need to have discipline. You need to be just honing in on your skills, applying for every single job that there is, and just working your hardest and playtime's over type of thing. And I've had a glorious life. I've played most of my life has been fun and playful. So I was like, you know what? Like, it's okay for me to take a step back. It's okay for me to really think about what I want the next years of my life to look like and what do I want them to feel like, um, especially with this newfound knowledge of the economy and where it's going. And with the dismantling of a lot of media platforms and companies that I aspire to work at or aspire to be a part of and to grow with, like, I had to really hone in. And during that time, though, I was like, ignoring people, not talking to people, and it only did harm. Like, it did not do me any justice to be in my own bubble or circle. And I really want to encourage people to continue to be in community even if you're broke. Who said we have to always go to brunch? Who said we have to always go to happy hour? Someone can just come over and watch movies, watch TV, and that is like so much more fun. Like, my friend Jakana came over a couple of months ago and we watched some interviews and Abbott Elementary. We sat on the roof. We drank like this random CBD drink, the can CBD drinks. We drank one of those, took a nap, ate food, woke up again, talked, and it was like one of the best friend outings that I have personally had like all year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've been everywhere, to every concert, to every event, to all the things, but that one to me was just extra, extra special. The next thing, so little joy and just the little glow up moments. The reason why I have this hat on is because tomorrow I'm getting my hair done. And you want to know why I'm getting my hair done? Because I need to look good so I can feel good. When they say you're not depressed, you just need your hair done, they were so serious. And that means go get your hair cut. I know y'all seen Kai Sanat's latest little haircut. And I have a question for the boys. Like, I thought that the chalk around the head was like that meant that they were filling in your hairline with the black, so they put the chalk. Or does that just mean like your hairline's crispy? Like, the kids are saying that the white on the hairline is like a thing. Like, that's like oh, like you got that good haircut. Like, you got that good haircut. This is when I know I'm getting old, when I really don't understand why they would want that chalk on their hairline. But get your hair cut, get your hair done if you have the resources. If you don't have the resources, the way that during the pandemic and post pandemic, I DIY'd it up during my unemployment phases, DIY shoddy. I learned how to braid my own hair. I became so resourceful, and that really made me like more confident and in just my skills with my hands. And like, as a woman, like, I felt more like a woman, more like a future mother and a future wife, because I knew how to braid and really do hair to make it look presentable, like all by myself, without and with a low amount of resources. Like, be resourceful. That can also get your mind off of what you have going on. That can also help you stop scrolling. You can just focus on the task at hand, and you'll be so proud of yourself if you like tackle a really cool hairstyle on your own. Like, so much fun. Mental escapes. So, anything to stop scrolling on your phone. Anything to stop scrolling on your phone. Legos, Sudoku, Duolingo, start a podcast if you want to, child. Anything to not be on your phone. And one thing that I am implementing is more fiction books. As you all may know, I'm a self help girl. This is a self help podcast. Ironically, I'm tired of self help being shoved down my throat from anyone and everyone. So I have challenged myself to get back into reading fiction books. And that's simply because I want to expand the world in my mind. Like, I want to travel to places that I have not traveled to. Right here in my room, I can read a book. And my friend was joking around saying that, like, I forgot what book she was reading, but it was like a werewolf fell in love with a woman. Y'all might know what book she's talking about, but she was like, in what world would like I be able to like fall in love with a werewolf? And I'm like, yeah, sis, like, in what world will I be like Evelyn Hugo and have 7 husbands? I mean, I do want to have a little bit, I do want the podcast to be popping, and like I want like that, a little bit Hollywood glam and stuff like that. But in what world would I be able to live like Evelyn Hugo? So in these books, you really get to dive into these different worlds and immerse yourself into something else. And that is so good for your creativity. It's good for your language, it's good for your perspective, it's good for you overall. And I have seen so many people say like it really kind of brought them out of depression. Like, and that is because when you read books, especially fiction books, it gives your brain a break from your own narrative. When you are depressed, you are ruminating and overthinking, and your brain is on the same loop, telling yourself the same sad, old, busted ass story that is not true over and over and over again. And reading breaks that loop and helps you dive into a whole new world. Another reason why reading fiction books helps with your depression is depression can flatten your excitement. It can flatten your sense of possibilities, colors, vibrancy. Depression tends to flatten that. And fiction books remind you that the world is so big and so interesting. It reminds you of the possibilities and the storylines and the narratives that are out there that are very much so possible for you as well. So it really does bring that excitement and energy and like vibrancy back to your life. Even if it's fake, it does something to let you know that it's possible. When you really start like imagining again and daydreaming again about wonderful things, the mind starts to believe it. You really get into your manifestation bag naturally when you start to just think about the world and the things that you have not seen that are very much so readily available to you if you just believe. This one was so cool to me, but reading fiction books helps you process your emotions safely. So, you know, when you read a book and the character is going through it and you're grieving, you're crying, you're happy, you're sad, you're feeling all the romance, like you're feeling so many different feelings through this character's story and not through your own trauma. And that within itself can be healing. It's like an emotional exercise in a controlled environment, because sometimes you don't cry for yourself, but you can cry for that character who has a very similar story or something that's really parallel. If a character is going through this intense heartbreak, or if a character is going through a friendship breakup, or If they are going through whatever with their family, like you get to go through that with them and grieve that with them while simultaneously like healing and grieving whatever you relate to within yourself. This just in, oh my gosh, y'all, this just in. While I was recording, I had to stop for a second because Zoran Kwame Mamdani has literally won for mayor of New York City. If this isn't something to crush your seasonal depression, I don't know what is. That was just so exciting. Breaking news right here on the Penny for Your Thoughts podcast. Let me finish this up, but thank the Lord we have some good news politically so that we New York, like, ooh, like, okay, let me get back into it. Okay. Your health and your check ins. So, I have a couple of episodes, TikToks, reels that really get into the vitamins and the nootropics and supplements that I personally use for my ADD and my ADHD. And I want to get into what I've bought so far for my seemingly seasonal depression. When it comes to your gut health, that has a lot to do with your mental health. If you did not know, the gut controls so much in your body, so you need to get that right. I got this really cool product from Bee's Keeper. I'm going to link it down below, but it's a prebiotic, a probiotic, and a postbiotic. I never heard of a postbiotic, but that sounds like it's going to heal my gut right on up. So I am being very diligent with taking my prebiotic, postbiotic, and probiotic. And another thing that I got was Mary Ruth's Mega Dose Vitamin D. The girls are going to be very low on our vitamin D, especially if you're in New York. We're not getting any sun in the next couple of months. So, overdosing damn near on my vitamin D. And then I also got some saffron. Saffron, I heard about that through Dr. Amen, and he is a therapist to the Kardashians, to Justin Bieber. If you've listened to the podcast, I've been talking about him for years before TikTok, if I say so myself. And Kanye West, he was a therapist for him as well, or a psychiatrist as well. And he has a brand called Brain MD. And I've been using his saffron. And I used it for like a solid month, loved it, stopped using it, but re-upped on that because it is basically a natural antidepressant. And it is a great way for you to uplift your mood naturally. So it doesn't have to be Brain MD. You can use any type of saffron supplement that's for your mental health and brain, etc. There are so many other things that I want to dive into when it comes to supplements and nootropics, but we'll dive into that later. Those are my top 3 right now. Get your gut health together, get your vitamin D up, and get you some saffron. Those 3, let's just start right there. So that's what you need to do. And then while the year is ending, I really want to encourage you, if you have not done your yearly physical, your woman's checkups, your dental checkups, go ahead and get that done. You're going to feel so adult like and so good about yourself if you are up to date on all of your appointments, if you can do so. If you can't do so, I'm going to also put in the comments or in the description box other ways to get insurance or get aid for you to be able to go see a doctor. There are so many ways around it, especially in New York. And I know that a lot of people don't have insurance or are working on getting insurance. People are unemployed, and it's just so much going on. So, in the description box, I'll put some resources and guides on how you can get you some insurance or at least be able to go and see a doctor. And also a therapist too. How I'll have it in there as well. And last but not least, I think that creating your own traditions like the holidays, used to be so much fun. Like the nostalgia hits so crazy when it comes to how Christmas used to be. And that nostalgia can easily turn into depression because you're like, what happened? Like, why does Christmas not feel like how it used to feel? Why am I the Grinch? Why do I not see my cousins anymore? Why does it just not feel the same, you know? So I encourage you to start and force your own traditions, whether that's with yourself, your friends, your family. Like, force yourself into the holiday spirit. And one year I decided I'm going to always have candy for the trick or treaters. I'm gonna put it downstairs, although they be grabbing it if I'm not out there with them, they be grabbing it and taking it, whatever. Because seeing the kids' faces and the joy and them dressing up and laughing, like that's an instant serotonin boost. Like Halloween was an instant serotonin boost, dead ass. Although everyone was hungover on Saturday, I'm sure it was just so much fun to see people just play and have a good time. Carving pumpkins. I want to start cooking gumbo. Like my family's from Kenya, so gumbo's not our thing. But I have a lot of American friends who their family makes gumbo, and I'm like, I want to start making gumbo during the holiday season for myself, my household, and make that a part of like one of the things that I do and can look forward to during the holiday season. Get your ass a Christmas tree, or what I think that we're gonna do is put Christmas lights. Might be tacky. Don't say nothing. Put Christmas lights on our plants. Like, I don't know, maybe something like that if you don't want to do a full tree. So I might do that or get like a full cute tree, a wreath, and really just tap into that holiday spirit as much as you possibly can. We're also doing a 5K for Thanksgiving. We're doing the Houston Turkey Trot. So I hope that we can make that a tradition as well. So those are the little traditions that my family is doing and like what I'm trying to do just so we can stay in this holiday spirit. No one's family is perfect. I know that I used to think that my family was the most picture perfect family, and that bubble bursted and shredded and took me for a goddamn loop. But now that I'm getting older, I'm learning like this is what life is. And it's really about finding the beauty in all of it. Your family is not the only family that's crazy as hell. It's not. Everyone's family has its kinks, and you can be that person to change the trajectory of your family and the way that they view and see the holidays, and you can beat whatever generational curses or things that you feel are heavy and on your family. Like you can be the one to change that if you decide to. So I am going to leave you guys with that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the For Your Thoughts podcast with Penny and Nassie. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode. And next week, of course, you can see my vlog on my YouTube channel. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And we're building this brick by brick. And Thursday, guys, I'm possibly going to be doing a live pitch. I just applied for a grant and I might be having a pitch live with a safe space mentor. So I'm going to zip it on that. But pray for me if you're hearing this. Pray for me and just keep rooting for me and keep engaging. And yeah, guys, this has been another episode. Whew, my throat hurt. I need some water. I've been chatting. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. So